This question is, I love the lessons with spelling wisdom, but have a question. How do you grade the lessons? How do you know when to move on? I have been grading by counting the words and punctuation marks and giving a percentage grade based on right versus wrong. With this method, my students' grades seem well enough, but their mastery of the words has not improved, and we just keep moving along. Should I back up to one lesson per week? I'm afraid I will not acclimate them to the necessary vocabulary words they will need down the road for well-written papers and such if I go at too slow of a pace. Any suggestions would be appreciated. Thank you. Let's walk through how a spelling wisdom lesson is designed to work, and maybe that will help answer your question. Step 1. The student should read the passage and look for any words he doesn't know how to spell yet. Step 2. The student studies those words, however he learns best. Step 3. Once he is sure he knows how to spell every word in the exercise, he comes to you and says, "Mom, I'm ready." You don't believe him. You spot check to set him up for success. You are working on exercise. How do you spell exercise? And you can do this little spot check orally. If he doesn't know, help him study that word. You might write it on a small whiteboard and have him look at it. Then erase 1 or 2 letters and see if he can spell it out loud. Erase a couple more letters and have him spell it, and so on until he's got it. The key is you don't dictate until you're sure he's ready. Once you're sure the student's ready, then you dictate the passage one phrase at a time, saying the phrase only once, and watch as he writes. If you've done all of the preparation steps we've talked about, mistakes should be few and far between. If, however, you see him start to write a word incorrectly, take a small sticky note or a bit of white correction tape and quietly cover up that misspelling. Don't interrupt his thought process. Allow him to keep writing the phrase and finish dictating the exercise. Then he should study the word he missed and write it correctly on top of the sticky note. If you follow those steps, there isn't really a need for grading. He either knows it or he doesn't, and you don't dictate until you're sure he knows it. Now let's talk about pace and punctuation. We recommend doing 2 exercises a week, but some of that depends on how long it takes the student to learn all the words. If it's taking quite a long time for him to study the words in a passage, you might want to back off to a shorter passage or an easier one. One that has only 3 or 4 unknown spellings in it is ideal. It doesn't take long to learn how to spell 3 or 4 unknown words. He won't get bogged down that way. We've been talking mainly about spelling so far, but punctuation can play into preparation time too. One thing that can help with punctuation is to take just a couple of minutes during the studying step to talk about the punctuation that is used in the passage and why it is there. You could ask the student to point out each comma and tell why it is in that location. Or discuss whether the comma is inside the quotation marks and why. It doesn't have to be a long, drawn-out lesson. You might want to focus on only 1 or 2 points at a time. For example, point out the end of sentence punctuation and hold the student accountable for that. Next time, review that and maybe touch on just 1 more point. Over time, those small touches can add up. Our book, Using Language Well, Book 1, will help with little by little pointing out basic punctuation in the exercises of Spelling Wisdom, Book 1. I hope this little walkthrough helps.